In a world where monsters come from another plane of existence and are outfitted in such a way to destroy humankind, the only way to fight fire is with fire. Civilization as we know it has been reduced to living on the Ark, a haven for humankind to make a final stand and try to form some kind of fighting chance. Through vigorous trial and error, humans have managed to find a way to capture these creatures called chimeras and have trained a special branch of police to deal with any other types that would breach into their own. However, where this may all seem like a good idea on paper, a mysterious group of scientists and investors are venturing deeper and experimenting on the full potentials of chimeras, all while trying to play God. Breaches have been happening more and more, and the level of disappearances and attacks have skyrocketed. Whatever is coming quick. Will humanity stand a chance or face its own extinction? Astral Chain is an exclusive for the Nintendo Switch that released in 2019. I played it when it first came out and I was blown away with the sheer amount of chaos on the screen at one time and the spectacle of it all. It's truly stunning for a Switch exclusive title. Astral Chain starts with you being part of a police task force and being called to a disturbance where multiple chimera gates are opening, allowing monsters and other aberrations to storm in and terrorize citizens. Your job is to take out the monsters and help the citizens get to safety while waiting on backup. This serves as your tutorial and allows for you to get the ropes of movement in the traditional Platinum game speed. But very quickly, higher tier monsters arrive that put you in your place, forcing the hand of your commanding officers to give you the tools that will broaden the horizon of combat and allow for combat prowess. You gain access to the Legion, which is a creature from a different plane that under your control allows you to see otherwise invisible enemies and gives you a second character to move around the battlefield. With the Legion equipped, you find that you're able to control it far better than most, and seeing your potential, you get promoted to Neuron, a special task force dedicated to stopping Chimera breaches and using your Legion to fight any monsters that would come out. But, as fun as that sounds, you'll be tossed into conspiracies and hidden agendas as you find out that you might just be a pawn in the grand scheme of Ascension. While navigating the city streets or the astral plane, it's inevitable you'll come into combat, and this is where your legions will shine. You can summon your legion to help you in combat, whether in allowing you to perform chain combos that flash blue on screen and deal massive damage, or control the flow of combat by ensnaring enemies or catching them in a charge and flinging them backwards. It feels incredibly rewarding as you can still perfect dodge and dish out damage by yourself, using your X-Baton to transform into unique weapons to suit the situation, but when you incorporate your Legion into other things, you'll get an eye-popping encounter every time. Legions are more than just fighters, however. All of them can perform special actions that can interact with the world as you go throughout your investigations. You could ride the Beast Legion to navigate harsh terrain, the Sword Legion to cut through locks, or even the Arm Legion to open otherwise impassable doors. However, even with your newly acquired Legion, that doesn't mean you'll be able to skip out on basic police work. As you go on different missions, you'll have to investigate the surroundings and try to piece together what happened and how you can help. You'll have the main objectives that show up as purple squares that have to be done, or blue circles that can aid you on your search or just break up some tension. This could be as simple as questioning the locals and hearing their first encounters, or doing side jobs for characters to get them to reveal some info. This shows up as bullet points in your notebook. Once you have enough, you'll be questioned as to what you found out and how to piece it all together, setting you on the path to the main disturbance. But not everyone is willing to talk to you. Your Legion is invisible to others, so you can have it sneak up on people and listen in to their conversations, giving you some insights as to what happened. Or you could get a tip as to some suspicious persons, and while following them and having the Legion listen in, learning about some of the shady dealings going on in the background. But, of course, there will always be people who don't want any dealings with you at all. You could walk up to a group of people and begin questioning them, only to have the entire group attack you at once. Or even encounter criminals, whether vandalizing a wall or having a fight in the street, or being an informant for a drug smuggling ring. You'll have to take them down. They'll run away and try to lose you, but you can send your Legion after them and tie them up, stopping them in their tracks. All in a day's work. After you've investigated the scene and have some leads to chase, the mission will then usually have you track down whatever chimera or entity is afoot, using your Legion to find tracks leading back to a chimera rift, a rift that'll take you into the astral plane. This is where the mission starts to delve into very light puzzle exploration and combat. As you venture throughout the chimera plane, you'll have to use your Legion's abilities to solve puzzle or activate switches, and this will be expanded on once you have more Legions under your control. This could be shooting a switch with the Arrow Legion or cutting threads that block your path with the Sword Legion. But don't get comfy yet, as enemies will phase in with old and recurring baddies to keep you on your toes, and learn how multiple chimeras work in groups. This is done well as it gives you a new enemy or new mechanic to work with while not feeling like you're getting fed too much early on. And trust me, with some of the later stages, you'll need to know exactly how all of these enemies work or you'll be in for one tough time. At the end of the Chimera plane, you'll fight the boss, and these are pretty sweet. Whether summoning in smaller baddies or moving around lightning quick, they'll keep you moving and really set in stone the feel of combat. Proper dodges and timing will be necessary, and using your Legion for special chain combos or even the abilities you'll equip with them will make these feel like a rush every single time. What would a high-impact action game be without upgrades? And lots of them. Throughout Astral Chain, as you go through combat and complete objectives, you'll receive upgrades, whether it be gene codes from defeating enemies or rare materials from completing side quests. You could take those to the upgrade bay and increase the amount of damage your weapons do, or even increase the amount of time your Legion can stay active. But it doesn't just stop there. You can use these same materials to upgrade your Legions in the form of skill trees. This can give you increased damage potential or defense, to even unlocking new combos to utilize. You'll have tons of upgrades to experience throughout the game, and by the end you'll have 5 Legions filled to the brim with new ways to defeat opponents. But you can make it even better. Each Legion can also be equipped with codes you pick up from enemies. These can increase attack damage or even increase healing while avoiding damage. So not only will you have combos and tons of damage output, but even items to fully refine your combat. Mix that with some of the consumables you can buy at the shops or the vendors, and you have one of the craziest setups for some of the flashiest combat that any game can give. For a game on the Switch, this is breathtaking. The busier city sections are a sight to behold, and when you're getting into a set piece, it's jaw-dropping. Just take the first section of the game. You're riding a motorcycle while shooting aberrations, while you dodge cars and projectiles, and when you make it to the disturbance, there's even a bit where you have to dodge vehicles falling off the side of a cliff while clinging to the side of a broken road. It's stunning. But even when you're not in a dire circumstance, just navigating through some of the city landscapes is well worth the price of admission. You'll have huge, bustling metro-like areas that have tons of people going about their normal day that you can speak with, or settlements under siege with fires and explosion raging in the background while giant monsters rage through the city. There's even a lab you'll explore and learn some more about the inner workings of the ARI and outer settlements of refugees just trying to survive. Astral Chain takes you to some unique locales while keeping it all in the same realm of realism. Nothing feels out of place here. Astral Chain is an absolute blast to play through, whether you're knee-deep in combat with chimeras or trying to carry ice cream to a crying child. There's always something to do, and on a first playthrough on Platinum Standard mode, it will easily give you about 15 hours of game time, and even more if you go back through all of the Legions to open up all the hidden passageways or on harder difficulties. I didn't have many issues with the game while I played, and at any time I died, I felt like it was because I panicked during combat or failed some puzzle. However, I will say that anytime the game asks you to jump across chasms using your Legion, especially while being timed, I did see my death count shoot up. It's not a bad system, and it's extremely useful in combat, but other circumstances, it usually caused me to fly off a cliff. One other small complaint was the stealth sections. They're not hard, and failing them just reverts you back to a checkpoint, so it's not like you lose very much, but I felt like the inclusion of them just didn't need to be there. Platinum Games hit it out of the park with this one, and with such an intriguing story and deep combat system, it's easily a must-have for any fan of action games on the Switch. With set pieces that cause your jaw to drop and bosses that demand you refine your abilities, it's without a doubt a recommendation from me. Next video I'll be working on Bayonetta 2, but I'm open to suggestions, so if you have a game you'd like me to check out, leave a comment down below and I'll add it to the list of reviews. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.